All right, welcome to Squad Goes to Westeros, our weekly Game of Thrones recap show. I'm Taylor, and I'm here joined by
AJ.
D-Lo, you already know.
As usual. We are going to be diving into Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4, and I do believe they came up with the title, and the title is The Last Starks.
I want to start off by saying, if you're listening to this is not our usual audio quality. We're redoing our set, and if you're watching this is not how it usually looks. We're redoing our set. Just a disclaimer, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is not how it usually is.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for bearing with us.
Under construction. We'll get it all fixed and right for you eventually.
Yeah.
Next week.
We're going to get there.
Yeah.
But just another warning, this is a recap show. We are going to be talking about a lot of spoilers. If you have not watched the episode, put us on pause, go watch, come back and enjoy. So this one kind of started off a little somber because we started off with the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a little sad.
Yeah, I like that everyone got their moment with someone that was significant to them when they were alive, Daenerys and Jorah.
He got a little kiss too.
Ooh,
which is the closest that he's gonna get. To a kiss with
I didn't even
the woman of his dreams.
I didn't even pick up on
Jorah's in on the long con on that one,
Yeah. She also
he wakes up. He's doing a Sandlot.
All right. She also whispered sweet nothings in his ear. No one knows what he said. Or what she said.
You were the best friend I've ever had.
If you were still alive, the things I'd do to you, but you're dead, so sorry.
I didn't notice, but did they have Lyanna and Jorah on the same little pyre, or did they just separate?
I think they were on separate ones.
Yeah,
they all kind of walked different ways.
Jon went up to her, and at first I didn't get the connection, but I was like, oh, she's the one that championed him to become King of the North. And I was like, okay, that makes sense why he would be the one.
Sam gets Dolores, who he kind of...
Yeah, saved his life. They've been through thick and thin together. It made sense.
Yeah.
Made sense.
It could have been Jon, but Jon had a closer tie with Lyanna Mormont.
I also feel like who else would have done Lyanna Mormont?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because her family's dead. And
if Jorah was alive, then it would have made sense.
Yeah.
But, can you imagine how bad Winterfell would smell after they burned 1 million dead bodies? And
I was thinking that. It was probably...
Sulfur.
And all the decomposing stuff.
All the army of the dead, all their friends.
Everything.
I generally think that's the least of their worries at this point.
That's true. What is the etiquette on burning your dead loved ones with the dragon fire? Would you just kind of... That would be a cool way, right?
Have the dragon do a fire?
Yeah, and just burn them?
No.
It's more personal if you torch it?
Well, I feel like that's harsh with the dragon fire. Yeah.
I think that's really
They're not
metal.
White Walkers.
You're dead.
Yeah.
It is metal, but that's
but it'd be okay, we have 100,000 bodies to burn.
That's overkill. That's a fatality.
We have 2 dragons.
That's Scorpion raising hellfire.
Yeah.
On his victims.
Fatality. Finish them. So after the funeral, we get the celebration, which was nice. We get a little kind of jealousy, I feel like, from Dany as she sees how everyone loves Jon.
Yeah.
Everyone was bringing up, we would follow Jon to the end of the world.
She was high-key hating.
Yeah. I think she's a little jealous she's not one of the boys, because he was up there Captain Morgan pose, on the chair.
Yeah.
Well, I think she knows he has the people of Westeros' respect.
Yeah.
And I think she says it later in the episode, the way they look at you, I've seen that look, because across the sea, she was the all-star. Everyone loved her. Everyone admired her. But now she's a foreigner.
Everybody.
Essentially. Yeah, she's a foreigner. She doesn't know their customs. She doesn't know their culture. She's an outsider, just because she has the claim. But Jon is one of them. Jon has been there. And Jon has done a million things to help the people.
Yeah.
She probably honestly feels underappreciated, too.
Yeah.
Because, she came in with tons of armies to their side, and no one has thanked her like that.
They wouldn't have been able to do it without her.
Yeah.
And she pretty much lost those armies and a dragon.
Yeah.
I was saying, though, when I was watching the episode, I said it when we saw the fireplace scene.
Mm-hmm.
I would have watched an hour and a half of that party.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope this is the episode. I would, if it was a full hour and a half, I would have been like, one of the best episodes I've ever done.
Yeah. I just want to know who shit in Tormund's pants. That coward.
Like everyone. See, I feel like everyone had their moment of shine in this party. Yeah. Like they all had that moment where you're like, that's a good one.
They shine more in the party than they gave them in the battle.
I was gonna say,
but that line was maybe my favorite of the episode.
What coward shit in my pants?
Yeah.
Tormund's the best. I think we can kind of agree.
Yeah.
on
He's
that,
comic relief super comic relief at this point.
Yeah.
We get some drinking games.
Yeah. Oh, and not to mention, young Baratheon.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Gendry.
Good old Gendry. That's why we had to put the Baratheon banner more in center because they're back, boys.
We thought they were out, but
No, had us in the first half. Not gonna lie.
And Taylor and I were talking before the podcast, and we were saying like when Daenerys called him out.
Yeah.
We both had the feeling like, oh, she's gonna go crazy. She's gonna kill this guy in the middle of this party because she's like,
he's a Baratheon.
Your father killed my father. This and that.
Yeah.
And then she.
But more importantly, let's talk about how she clearly did it strictly just for doing something gracious for him rather than actually doing something nice. She wanted him to be loyal. Yeah.
I think Tyrion said it oh, that's a smart play.
Yeah.
And you can see Sansa gave her that look like she knows what's up.
Yeah.
Sansa is fully aware.
She's just, playing politics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to at this point, like she needs to like we were saying, she doesn't have the respect, she doesn't have the love.
Yeah.
So you got to do your if you can get the person in charge of a whole kingdom.
Yeah.
To love you, then they're gonna love you by by proxy.
Yeah, but it also proves that her heart isn't necessarily in the right place.
Yeah,
yeah. She's just doing what she thinks is gonna help her, not doing it for the best of the realm.
Yeah, and she had another moment like that later in the episode too.
But what does Gendry do as soon as he becomes Lord? He goes to the
he's like, I got some pull now.
Yeah, 24 hours after sleeping. It's me in real life. Like, I love you. You're
marry
beautiful.
me.
Marry me.
What's up, baby girl?
Yeah.
You heard about me?
Yeah.
I'm a king now.
I felt weird because Arya was like the hero of the battle, and nobody cares that she's not at this.
They gave her a big toast.
Yeah, they
might not even notice.
Yeah, but she's out there just shooting arrows, just being a badass.
Yeah. So Gendry asked her to marry him, and she turned him down. I felt that in that moment.
The last time a Stark turned down a Baratheon, this giant war started. That's what started this whole thing. It's kind of going full circle.
I have read that everyone, at least in the books, always said Gendry is the splitting image of Robert as a kid, and then Ned always said Arya is the splitting image of Lyanna, both in personality. So it's kind of like this. Oh, by default, they kind of got together. Like
the parody is real.
Robert's whole fantasy is,
and like Lyanna not wanting Robert. Arya
but is she going to run away with the Targaryen now? And there's a circle.
That'd be really awkward.
I think there's only one left. That's a little weird.
It is a Targaryen thing to do, though.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But speaking of the toast for Arya, the Hound wanted nothing to do with anything. He just being somber Hound until they gave him the toast. He kind of smiled and drank, which is nice because that they have that father-daughter type relationship.
I like that line too of like, how did she kill Ramsay? And he's like, hounds.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny.
And he even brought it up. He's like, you're not the little bird back in.
Yeah.
That I left.
I felt like that was a good part for Sansa's character because it was like he said, you would have avoided all this if you just came with me. Because remember when he left King's Landing, he said, come with me, I got you, and she wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he was like, you would have avoided Littlefinger, you would have avoided Ramsay, and she said, no. Then I would have been that little bird. And she's like,
she's have grown.
Yeah, she knows she went through hell, came to hell and back like 3 times, and she's a much more powerful character, and she wouldn't have been there without all this bad happening to her. Because I feel like the show has probably some of the best powerful women characters in general. But the thing is, if you go to season 1, if you went to someone saying like, oh, this has the most strong women characters ever, you go to season 1, you would never see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you watch their growth from these like, basically second-class citizens to basically now they're the ones in charge. Like the women kind of essentially took over.
I feel like the show does a really good job of showing like the effects of war, like realistically, because everything else everything's glorified. No, everything's brutal. All these people go through some very traumatic things, and they are completely changed from who they were in season 1. Except for maybe kind of Jon Snow. He kind of
he's grown a lot.
He went from just
not knowing who he is and trying to live up to a name to becoming someone that everyone admires and respects, because he was the complete opposite.
He went from like a naive boy who didn't know his place, and he went to the Night's Watch because he didn't fit in, to now a king of the North. Like,
that is true.
He just wanted to be a ranger in the Night's Watch because he didn't have a place to be, and that was his way to get glory. Like, he was never gonna be royalty. He was never gonna be a lord. He always kind of felt on the outskirts of his family, and he's now not only a king,
the rightful king,
in with his family, like closer than probably they were when they were children, and just a bunch so I think everyone's grown.
Speaking of character growth, we get Jaime Lannister, and him, Bran, and Tyrion play Tyrion's drinking game.
I like that game.
Which is like, if I guess something correct about you, you drink. If I'm wrong, I drink. They have a little fun until Tyrion just kind of goes,
put it out there real quick.
You've never slept with anybody.
He set it up though. He sprinkled
he knew.
He is the ultimate wingman. He knew. Because Bran gets up, Jaime goes to follow her, Tormund is in the picture. He comes over and
shattered dreams.
Yeah, Tyrion just kind of like, here you go, buddy. Like,
you're gonna need.
That was almost like a suck on it.
Yeah. I want to start playing that drinking game. 2, I feel like if you play that drinking game in real life with a woman, that's like the ultimate icebreaker. You're in. Like, you do this. But anyway, that I really like that. Like I said, all these character interactions. I think that's what this season's been doing the great is like. All the characters interacting and having these like really good resolutions, and I feel like the overall story is what's suffering, but the characters have been like an all-stars this season, like these moments. But Bran and Jaime,
they got it in.
They got it in,
And I thought that was...
The one question I had while they were undressing, I guess Bran undressed them both, was, does he take his hand off during sex, or does that stay
No,
on?
you could use that if you know how to...
It's literally just this. So you're giving her like the flipper? I don't...
you get the whole hand in there.
Yeah, I get the whole hand in there. I don't know.
He screws on the...
She's a big woman.
He screws on the fist. But he...
This got very 50 Shades of Grey. Come to my dungeon.
50 Shades of Gold.
Yeah, that was really nice. I'm glad. I really didn't think they would ever do the deed. Because I just always thought like they had love for each other, but it wasn't like a romantic love. It was like this respect. So I'm kind of surprised they went there, but I'm not upset they went there. Like,
who was upset was Tormund when he. I think his line was like, "After all this, he just rides north and steals her from me," or something like that.
Yeah.
Can I bring up my theory now?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a theory in the middle of the episode. Me and Taylor were talking about it. And I'm upset it didn't happen, but I'm not that upset because I came up with it during the episode. It wasn't like they were teasing it.
Yeah.
But Tormund gets upset that Brienne slept with Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
A girl comes up going, "I like wildlings."
Yeah.
He leaves. Podrick looks at a girl.
2 girls.
They kind of like, "Hey, what up?" Then a girl comes up to the Hound, and I go...
Podrick's my favorite with that. He's so good, they give him his money back. The prostitutes.
But I went...
Thirdly,
holy shit, they're all getting drunk, they're unexpecting, these are all like assassins Cersei sent, and this is like a red wedding situation, they're not expecting it. All these prostitutes are like bringing all these guys, and they're gonna like slit their throats, and I was like, because it happened like back to back to back, and I'm like, oh, here we go, this is gonna get crazy, and then it didn't, but I still enjoyed the scene. Like, I'm not like I said, I'm not like, man, because they didn't really hint at it. It was just like, oh, what would have happened if
it's been done
the fact
before,
that that's in the back of your mind, I think, kind of helps because you're like, oh, this is always a possibility. You never feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking back to the Red Wedding where it's a happy wedding, everyone's having a good time, and like that it turns,
like,
and no one's expected it. So that's how they got really destroyed was they were drunk, they weren't ready. That's what I'm like, oh, they're chugging these wine glasses, they're like having a good time.
You're waiting for that, what was it, the bass and the cello to come
out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it the Rains of Castamere or something?
Yes.
Like that? Yeah. So everyone's kind of having a good time. We almost get a good time from John and Dany. She comes up to his room. He
was wasted.
I want to make that. He was very.
My boy was turned.
Maybe a little. Maybe a little.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. And they start kind of kissing. She goes undo the belt, and that's when he's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Danny's not even upset that, like, oh, that's right, I'm your aunt. It was like, why? Like, I wish you'd never told me.
Yeah.
Because you have claimed my throne, not that I'm your aunt or anything. But.
Yeah, and it was like a scene where, John very blatantly said, I won't turn on you, this and that, and she really doesn't buy it.
She basically asked him, like, swear, like, don't tell anybody, we'll just go back as normal. John suggests, oh, I have to tell my family. I'll swear them to secrecy.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things, like, you find out a secret, you go to your best friend, like, hey, you can't tell anybody, and then they go to their best friend.
And she basically says, no.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not telling anybody.
Yeah, and she storms out, so they kind of have this, she had a rough night because she could sense everyone's in love with John. Mm-hmm. Everyone adores him.
He's the Daenerys of Westeros.
Yeah. And
Hater.
And she gets nothing but kind of this cold response from everybody else. No one wants to follow her.
Yeah.
She goes up there, gets kind of rejected by John. Things are kind of crumbling down around her. They go to the meeting where they kind of have a strategic meeting, and they're going over. They're basically just taking off all their chips off the table there, where we have no forces left.
Yeah.
And she suggests that they all ride south to King's Landing, and Sansa kind of kicks up some dirt again. And how do you expect the North needs to rest? We just had this battle, and John has to choose a side, basically. And I feel like he knew he upset her last night. He's trying to keep everything
It's
calm.
like when your family doesn't really mesh with your girlfriend and you're trying to be the peacemaker, like...
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
He kind of makes a statement, says, I back Daenerys. We will withhold our vow to help her, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he has to break the news to Sansa and Arya because
He didn't have to.
They gave him that, like, family meeting now.
Yeah.
But...
And he didn't even say it himself. He's like, I'm gonna let Bran tell you because I can't even tell you.
He gave himself an out because it was like he can tell Daenerys like I
didn't say
anybody.
Yeah.
True. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
What are you gonna do? Burn a cripple? Like yeah, she will.
Yeah. I agreed with Sansa though, where like hey guys, we can chill.
Yeah.
I think for the most part everybody like agreed, but
there's no.
I think it's like honestly, there's only good to come from waiting. Like the White Walkers was an imminent threat. Like, if we didn't act, we're dead. Yeah. Cersei right now is most likely not going to move against us, or if she does, we have the advantage of, like...
Yeah.
We're on the defense, she's on the offense. So, we can wait. We can hold this out.
Yeah.
Why don't you go around trying to unite the other kingdoms? Like that idea that they said. Why...
Gather all the support because everyone
you have the Stormlands now.
Yeah.
There's a new Prince and Dorne. Let's get them. Hey, let's get the Iron Islands.
And that's one thing they just kind of glossed over at that they were like, oh, you have the support of the new Prince and Dorne. We haven't seen Dorne in like 3 seasons. Who's this new prince? You just kind of scrapped the Dorne storyline,
and then it backfires.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it does a little bit.
Well, everything with Daenerys on Westeros has been people telling her not to do something. She does it, and it fails miserably.
And I think we get Tyrion and Varys are talking, and they suggest a marriage. I'm not sure if this came after John's like, you can't tell anybody, and then they don't even show the on-camera. I wanted to see that react. I'm a little mad they didn't show the reaction or anything of them.
I want to say, too, like, I feel like, as far as the show goes, my favorite chemistry is probably Tyrion and Varys.
Yeah.
And the conversations that they always have, because it's always articulate and it's.
Yeah.
They're my favorite duo.
Read book 2 of the series because that's all that book is. It's just those two doing things. But yeah, Sansa told Tyrion.
Yeah. Their reaction.
Sansa knew. She's been scheming with Littlefinger. She knows what she's doing. She wouldn't have told Tyrion unless she knew this is going to cause disruption on Daenerys' whole team. And she did that on purpose. Like, that wasn't just like, I slipped or I...
When Arya finds out, she just kind of like dips out, meets up with the Hound, and is like, all right, I'm just going to go south with you. Sansa, she had the kind of, she was going to keep it a secret, and then like you said, she kind of dawned on her that, hey, this is information. Information is the most priceless, valuable thing in this land, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, one could say in life in general.
So she tells Tyrion tells Varys, maybe we can just get them to marry. And Varys is just kind of like, well, maybe Jon Snow's not the worst. He doesn't want the throne, but maybe that's what we need is someone who's not out for himself. Yeah. Because Varys has always been for the best of the realm.
Varys has always been, I'm here for the realm. I'm here for the people. I'm here for, that's my goal. I don't care about who sits on the throne as long as the people are good. I'm the people's champ. And I think he's going to Team Jon.
He had that conversation with Ned Stark when Ned first got arrested all the way back in season 1, where he basically is talking to him, is like, you shouldn't have done this, like, and Ned says, what was he supposed to do? And he basically says, like, you just do what's best for the realm. Because letting this out is just going to cause chaos. Yeah. And it did.
Because sometimes you might have to do something bad or not morally right if it's better for people not to, like with the whole Joffrey not being because he's like, he knew, hey, this gets out there, exactly whatever happened from season 2 on happened because that information got out there.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Tyrion kind of calls him out on being like a switch out, and he's like, sometimes you kind of have to go with what's the best choice.
And the rest of the episode, you're kind of worried that you're like, oh man, Varys is gonna fuck this up for everybody somehow. And so they start sailing south. Things are good. You get this beautiful dragon moment. Yeah. And
2 seconds later,
fucking Euron. That was devastating to watch it get hit that many. Like, the headshot was unnecessary. I didn't need to see that.
Yeah. I just feel like, how many times are we going to sail and get ambushed by the same guy before we realize, hey, we shouldn't take boats? Let's not take boats.
I saw a lot of people, like, online on Reddit. There was, like a show thread, people's reactions and everything. And literally, like, right before all that happened, everyone was like, oh man, they're out in the ocean. I can't wonder when Euron's going to randomly show up and ruin everything. Yeah. And sure as shit. That's like that
guy's face just pisses me off.
He's just a lazily written character because he's literally just like, hey, I can teleport out of nowhere, basically. Like, does Daenerys just not scout at all?
He's like in a video game where, like, the boss randomly shows up and, like, messes you up a little bit and then he disappears and then you go through the level and then he'll come back up until you have the final boss. Like, he pops in, he wrecks shop, he disappears, and we don't really see him besides.
And he's always with Cersei, but then he's always here, like...
Yeah.
That's just...
Yeah, because he wrecks the fleet. They capture Missandei, and Cersei breaks pulls the Cersei's, ace in the pocket, her go-to move. Yeah. This baby's totally yours.
Yeah.
I love her acting, too, like... You can definitely see like this disdain in her when she's pretending to care for him.
She's a great actor.
As soon as he looks away, she's like, it's great.
She's a great actor.
She's obviously, as Cersei, only in it for herself.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because even I think later in the episode, Tyrion says, "Oh, you do anything for your kids," that kind of thing. Yeah. And now she's kind of just out for herself. We'll see about what happens with the baby, but.
What baby?
What baby? Yeah.
Yeah, you're a very avid believer that there's no baby.
There's no baby.
She's just. So you think she's just done the lie twice now?
Yeah, she's a liar.
Oh, and we actually.
She knows it probably has a pull. Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
I mean, it has urine on board, so.
Yeah, you're right. It changes you.
Bronn shows up. We forgot to bring up.
Oh, yeah.
Bronn, who was sent, we haven't seen him since episode 1 of the season, he was sent to kill Tyrion and Jaime, kind of sneaks up on him while they're enjoying a couple of brews and kind of lays it out there for him, like, hey.
That scene, like, I mean, I understand that it's kind of where they're going with Bronn. Is he, for loyalty with the Lannisters, or is he always just been about himself?
It's all about personal gain, I think.
It's true, but it's out of context of his character, or where his character has been in the show.
And that's the thing, like...
That bugged me.
If you compare it to the book, that was a book Bronn move of, look, hey, we were cool, like, I got along with you, but really I was just in it for the money. Yeah. But show Bronn has shown he's
got some...
Yeah, he cares about these people. He's gone on an adventure with Jaime when he didn't have to, just because, like, the show version of Bronn is a much better, well-rounded character, and it just didn't seem right, and he just disappeared after this whole conversation, and I'm like, part of me went, I have a feeling we're not going to see him again. We might see him in the last episode where he gets his reward, and that makes me go, why didn't they just kill, like...
Why didn't they kill him off?
I think you'll have a moment where he has to decide.
Yeah.
And hopefully, he makes the
Maybe.
I feel like that's where they're leading it to.
Yeah, I guess.
But he has a line where he basically says, I knew Cersei was fucked the moment I saw those dragons. And he basically says, I'm hedging my bets. You guys are going to give me Highgarden when you guys win. I won't kill you, and I'll see you after the war.
But, so, half the 7 Kingdoms, and they haven't really brought it up on the show, and I don't think even in the book so much, just hasn't had a ruler.
Yeah.
Highgarden, the Riverlands, Dorne, the Stormlands, just have not
kept up with it, because I know...
Because...
They gave Frey...
Yeah, if you went to, like, through the technicalities, someone should be the leader, and they're going to be pissed if all of a sudden a new king comes in going, hey, this guy, he's going to be in charge of the Reach. I know you've been doing it for years, and it's technically yours because you're like a third cousin to the Tyrells, but no, Ron.
Isn't it technically that's the Game of Thrones, right?
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
It's all about not everyone is going to be happy. Everyone's going to be scheming some way.
Yeah.
But Bronn basically saying...
And these are the people with the most pull.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, you guys have what's going on, but these are the people really in power. So, like, when they come in to overthrow you, there's probably not a lot much you can do or say, especially when it comes with armies. And, and the Dothraki aren't fully dead.
Which apparently they have still one poker chip on the table. But that little message from Bronn when he's like, if you guys forget the dragons, they're going to just burn the shit out of that city. Cersei's fucked. Jaime kind of has a little epiphany where he's like, oh, Cersei's going to die. And he just hightails it back. And Brienne tries to, no, stay with me. We love each other. And he's like, I did all this for Cersei.
She is hooked. He laid the pipe down once.
But
and now she is.
There's no way he's going on Cersei's team. Well, are we all in agreement with that?
I think the general consensus, everyone, I believe he's going to go down there. He's going to see Dany burning the city, and he's going to do the Kingslayer. The same thing he did before, where he was like, I did this to
Or Cersei will.
Oh, yeah.
Cersei might, too.
That's true.
Let's not hold that, either one of them's a little unhinged right now.
That's why she brought everybody.
Yeah, she's willing to sacrifice the entire capital's population to keep
She even said, if she's going to burn it, she's going to have to kill millions of people.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, I felt like more so, he was saying, hey, I did all these things
because of her.
Because of her, and I felt it more as I'm remorseful, and I need to make good by that. I can't just sit on the sidelines. I did these bad things. I need to make them right. I think the way he phrased it made you think he's going to help Cersei, but I think it's more like he's come so far. He's happy.
I think the way I think what he said was she's a hateful person, and I am too, or something like that. And I'm like, maybe
that phrasing made you
say.
I think it's an attempt to derail you from him going over there to kill her.
I think
to
it was
be
just
against her.
I think it was just a I think it was just misleading because I feel like
I think it was intentional. If that's where they're going, I'm sure it was intentional.
Yeah. But no, I mean I think they misled everyone on purpose. Yeah. Because I feel like he got his happily ever after. He was going to live his life most likely in the north with Brienne.
He even requested when the armies moved south to stay in Winterfell with Brienne.
Yeah, he had the choice to go. He wanted to stay. I felt like at no point was he on the fence about, oh, how do I feel about Cersei? I feel like the last couple seasons has shown us he has kind of realized he's seen Cersei for what she is.
Yeah.
And I feel like, but I think it's just that guilt of, I've done all this bad things for her, and I'm just going to sit by and not help make them right. I'm not going to help take out the person that I did these things for.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hide away and I felt like he couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he even told Brienne, because he might think, hey, this is a one-way trip. Let me kind of do the tough love and just get out of here, throw rocks at my direwolf so she runs away.
I hope she goes after him because I want to see her fight some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see her battle. She didn't get her battle the way that she should have in the last episode because she's supposedly the greatest fighter, the greatest warrior there.
And it's kind of, I'm sorry to get off track a little bit, but speaking of throwing rocks at your direwolf, as Jon's leaving,
he didn't even say bye.
Yeah. He didn't. That's my biggest gripe. How do you just all right, Ghost, deuces, kick rocks, kid.
Was he on screen when he said that?
Yeah.
Okay, because if it was a shot of the direwolf and it was a voiceover, I would have been they called him in for.
What?
No, the direwolf. Ghost was by himself, but he was kind of looking. Ghost was looking at.
But was Jon? Could you see Jon on the screen talking? Or was it a shot of Ghost?
There was two separate shots.
Because he's talking to Tormund. Tormund's saying I'm going back north. Jon says you're in the north. He goes,
and then
no,
take Ghost north. To the true north.
I want to rewatch the scene because I'll be able to tell because if it's if you don't really see him say it, they called him back into the studio, did ADR, and just recorded a voiceover. Yeah. And because I feel like so far, I think they put Ghost in.
For fan service.
Yeah, because every time he's there, he's never acknowledged.
Yeah.
That was the first time they acknowledged him, and it was just kind of weird that he didn't say bye. Yeah. And I feel like
he didn't say good boy.
Did not say good boy. There was even a little whine when Jon left, and you could hear Ghost kind of whine. You're like, no.
And not a pat on the back or a nice little doggy rub.
He's all cut up from when you sent him into the dark.
Half a year.
Why was Ghost even on that charge? First off, but that's.
Well, on my side tangent now, Tormund, what we were hinting at, went back with the free folk.
Yep.
The wildlings are gone. They're going back beyond the wall, right? The threat's gone. That's the main reason they left. Okay. This has been my gripe I've been saying this whole season is, why are you keeping these people alive if you have nothing to do with them?
Yeah.
They could have killed him off. It would have been another emotional death last episode. If he has nothing to do here on out. If he just literally, the next time he got the scene at the party and then he goes bye. We could have had that one more emotional.
He still had his moments. He's been comic relief. Why do they all have to die for you?
I just feel like that's what this show is. If this was a different show, if this was The Office, and then I'm going, why didn't he die? It's not that show. This show, I just feel like everyone's safe, and I feel like if we had a few more deaths, I would have been okay, the stakes are there. And if people are dying, I just feel like they kind of they pull their punches. They kill some main characters, but they know who to kill. Not main characters.
He's fine, bro. Just let him be. Let him live. Let the man live. He's put up. He's been in the wars. Let him live.
Did they also happen to mention because I know Sam and Jon say their goodbyes. Is Sam going north with them?
I don't think Sam. Sam's staying. He has a baby now.
Gilly's pregnant.
Gilly's pregnant. Jon just somehow, I guess, manages to find out when he finally gives her a hug and he's like, wait.
Yeah.
When did how
often is Gilly and Jon crossing paths?
Yeah, I like the insult too. It's just kind of we're gonna name him Jon. And he's like, I hope it's a girl.
I would be like, fuck you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You get it?
The greatest thing would have been we're gonna name him Jon, but who?
I'm Aegon.
Yeah. Sam has to kind of try to just. Jon says how'd this happen? And Sam takes a little literal. He's like, well, there's lots of time reading books, and when a man loves a woman, we all he gets it, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam's just gloating. Sam finally had sex. And, go, buddy.
On a side note, maybe I'm weird. Maybe I was in a weird mood when I was watching it. Gilly was looking good in that scene.
She's put on a little weight, but
they prettied her up. If you compare it to like when you first saw her, they gave her like all messed up teeth and stuff like that. It was like, did she get braces at the
Did they give her messed up teeth?
I'm pretty sure they were bad teeth.
Go watch.
Unless maybe she had messed up teeth in real life and then got braces in real life. Maybe.
Go watch the Netflix show Sex Education. She's in that. She's got a little bit of an overbite, I want to say.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was kind of dark when I was watching it, so maybe it was like...
Yeah.
But, so they all kind of say goodbye. And then...
Well, back on that note, I mean, she was a wildling before. Now she's a woman of the North almost. So, you know, they got a little...
She's well traveled.
She's
they got some
becoming
standards.
cultured and civilized.
Yeah.
So Ghost is gone. Army moves south. Dragon's gone. Real winner of the show, CGI budget. Because now all they got to do is one dragon and that's it.
Yeah, I think that was the main reason they probably did it. Well, side note too, why was the dragon good if they killed him off the next time you see him?
Yeah.
Because the last
John
time,
even
they
said
didn't get time to recuperate.
Yeah,
because then he got tore up.
And John even said, he was like, "Oh, Regal needs to recover. He doesn't need me riding his back." Tormund says something about you weigh as much as two fleas fucking.
Yeah.
But I feel like, the last time we saw him, it was up in the air if he was alive or dead.
Yeah.
And then he's alive, and then they killed him off right away.
I think the next scene after they said, he needs to recover, and it was just like...
I think it would have been good, too. I mean, I understand with budget or whatever, but have him bruised up that way, like, one reason why he fell so easily to the fleet, Euron's fleet, was because he was so injured from battle, which kind of represents that what they were saying that they need time to recuperate was obviously what they needed to do.
Yeah, bring one out.
Yeah.
Only use one dragon at a time.
Yeah.
Keep them in the reserves.
She's trying to let them know. She's trying to make it.
She's done a great job so far.
Well, she should have let them recuperate.
So
I think they could have played that better as far as him being hurt.
Oh yeah, it was
because that would have made more sense for the story, and it kind of represents that maybe Daenerys was wrong about not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
recuperating.
So we get surprise Euron kills a dragon. Because apparently they don't scout and don't know that there's 80 ships right around the corner. She gets furious and she says, like, I'm going to burn the city. They killed my child.
Yeah, she was going off.
Yeah, and they had to calm her down. They're like, no, we need to give her the chance to surrender.
She's not helping her cause with this attempted coup going on behind the scenes.
And
it was also...
I think she said, she was like, I want them to know when she refuses that it was Cersei's fault, not mine.
I was going to say that, which is the second time that we see that, like, it's not necessarily her caring about the people, but putting on the image that she does care.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually caring, so.
And so they march to King's Landing. They kind of have this little standoff. Cersei's on the wall. She's got Missandei in chains again, unfortunately.
Yeah, the irony.
And... we get a nice little hand-to-hand combat with Qyburn and Tyrion, the two hands.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And they're just like...
with the pins.
Yeah.
And they were,
that was just... I could have watched them just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
With, what does he say? Something like, you don't want to hear the children scream? And he's like, that'd be unfortunate.
No, he said it is unfortunate. It is. Like, I've done it.
Oh, because,
Yeah.
Because, they blew up a sept, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
Tyrion wasn't having that anymore.
Yeah.
He's just like, I
don't
have time to talk to you.
So Tyrion just walks up to the wall, and he kind of thinks he's got it. He goes on this little spiel of, you love your children, you love that baby, which, by the way, this should be Euron's first clue. Like, I just found out about this baby. You guys haven't seen each other in months. How the fuck does he know about this baby? Like, that kind of thing.
I think it might come into play. I'm hoping it does. That would be a weird...
I mean, Euron's not the brightest. I feel like if there was anyone that was going to get played this hard by Cersei, it would be... Like, she chose the biggest dummy.
Yeah. I mean, Euron also... Especially
low-hanging fruit.
Well, he was also, like, making his moves too, like because before it was about Daenerys or whatever, but he's just trying to be in power by any means necessary. Does he really love Cersei? Probably not. Like
he doesn't even have the Iron Islands anymore because
Yara
Yara took him. They did mention that, and so he
just has a fleet, really.
That can magically sneak up on anybody. Except for when he's fucking the queen, and then they get snuck up on by Theon. But so they go. Tyrion thinks he's got Cersei where you don't want to do this. You don't give a fuck about the people. You don't give a fuck about this. Mm-hmm. You care about that baby though. And Cersei kind of has that little scowl. She starts to cry, and I think that's when she's just like, "Yep, no, this is I've laid my bed, or I've made my bed. I'm gonna lie in it now."
Yeah.
And they kill Missandei. They just mountain.
Oh, she said, "Do you have one last word?"
Galia,
you heard it.
Dracarys, and which is.
I was waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be surprise Regal, like I'm not dead.
Yeah. But I think it just meant.
No.
Obviously, to flashback to burn them all. Right?
Yeah, and it's the word that freed her from chains, if you remember.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's the last word. And I don't know who I want to kill the Mountain Lord. Do I want the Hound or Grey Worm?
Yeah.
Does Grey Worm get angry at the Mountain for that, or Cersei? Like,
probably a little bit of both.
I think we're gonna.
I would say as a warrior, probably the Mountain because he said he's the one who actually did it.
I think Grey Worm is going to start to fight the Mountain. Maybe start getting beat, and then we're gonna hear like, "I got this," and
like,
or they might tag team him. They might tag team him. Yeah. They might do like a. Just like they're both.
Get the air horns ready because the Clegane Bowl is back on.
Next episode, for sure.
It has to be next episode.
Clegane Bowl.
Clegane Bowl 2019.
And Arya is going to King's Landing with as well. So we're going to have some...
I see the prophecy of Green Eyes being represented by Cersei.
Yeah, why not? Hey, Arya, let's sneak into the castle and kill her.
They do not utilize her at all. They're like, hey, you can use people's faces. You're a badass assassin.
Oh, they don't know that yet. Still, no one really knows.
But if you're Arya,
Sansa does.
Yeah,
because she literally did that whole.
Yeah. Why don't?
But Sansa know that she just my sister's really weird. I think it's one of those.
Just do. Hey, Bran, look back 10 minutes, figure out some things. Okay, now Arya, use that information to sneak by really easily.
Bran's irrelevant.
Yeah, what is Bran's?
He has something much deeper, I'm sure.
Other than
as far as
he doesn't want to be Lord of Winterfell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like this all-knowing person. He's just like, who knows everything. When Jon looks at him like, what should I do? He's just kind of like, it's your decision.
It's your decision.
Cool.
I'd be like, thanks.
They didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool, buddy.
Wow.
So I think that kind of wrapped up this episode. Anything else, you guys? Favorite parts?
I really liked the party, everything during that whole, and it was like about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because if that party wasn't there, it would have been a really good episode, a good hour. But I'm like, that 30 minutes right there, I was like, okay, I'm glad this is longer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's something that would have been cut down extremely if they were trying to fit into the regular time.
Yeah, I mean, aside, obviously, same quirks, the rushing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did enjoy this episode, though. I think it created a lot of suspense with the characters and a lot of...
a lot of people were disappointed in last week's. This week there was a lot of substance there. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of different subplots going on because you don't know what is Sansa up to, what is Varys going to do, Daenerys.
Well, they've definitely been upping the climax of the tension that they created since the first episode of season 8.
I feel like this is a good comparison if whoever's seen it. Lost. Mm-hmm. Have you watched Lost all the way through? Okay. I feel like Lost promised you all these big, big things and mysteries and payoffs, and then as it was wrapping up, they kind of went, that's not important, and they focused on the characters. They went, look, you care about these characters, we're going to give them all these really good moments, these times to shine, these interactions that you've always wanted to see, these really happy endings, these sad endings, because now you care about them.
Yeah.
And then the whole plot really suffered. They just went, here it is. We don't care. And it's like, I feel like Game of Thrones is doing that. It's like we're focusing on the characters, and I feel like everything character-wise this season has been great.
Phenomenal.
And it's like the overall plot has been the part that's been having a lot of holes. It's being rushed. It's not having great payoffs. And I really think it's that comparison of, hey, we're just going to give you real, like, you're going to be happy with how the characters end up.
Yeah.
But how we get there and the story overall might not. The things we've been promising, like with Lost, like from season 1, we're promising you this big mystery, like all these mysteries, and then by the time they wrapped it up, they went, oh, here it is, and you're like, we waited 6 seasons for that?
Yeah.
And it's literally that same thing. We're promising this big thing with the White Walkers, and they go, let's just wrap it up. And we're like, oh, that was a letdown. But the character stuff has been shining, and I feel like that's what Lost really did. Like, I'm one of the few that really liked how Lost ended. I think it had its problems, but it gave you these really great emotional things for the characters, where they did this whole, where they were able to bring characters together that haven't seen each other for seasons, and you get this like, oh wow, I feel so happy because these characters were in love and they've been separated, and they kind of give everyone these good resolutions.
Yeah, the character development and, like I said, all the interactions have been fantastic. Fireplace scene, the celebratory feast, everything.
Honestly, all of season 2, or episode 2, I really liked, where they were just preparing for battle.
And
season 1, to an extent, too, I really liked as well. Like, all the reunion, like, all the character-related stuff has been amazing.
Yeah, and it's been a little, I get that there's only 6 episodes, and they're kind of like jamming some stuff in. Because there's really only 2 plot points to get through in this. And that was Night King and the Throne.
Yeah.
And maybe they're rushing a little bit. Maybe it's to give them that extra time, because next week obviously is going to be a big episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we know how long?
No, it's
I think
an
it's
hour.
about as long as this episode.
It's an hour 22.
Another hour.
Hour 23,
hour
give or
20.
take a minute or two.
Yeah.
So it'll be a big episode. There's obviously going to be hopefully some conclusions there. We'll see. Overall, I think the episode was good.
I think we all liked it.
I did have some problems, obviously, with like Euron, and I can't stand that character.
Yeah.
But
especially if you compare him to the book Euron. Book Euron is one of the greatest characters of that series, and here they just made him like I'm just like
he's an emo pirate.
Yeah, everyone makes like he's like a really bad Jack Sparrow, and it's like in the book he's this demon worshiper / manipulator, and he's got ambitions, and he drives a ship where he sews everyone's mouth so shut. It's called the Silence, where they just move silently.
Yeah.
And
ain't that one villain, but his.
I feel like they really didn't know what to do when Ramsay died, like for a big villain.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. First
Joffrey,
then Ramsay.
Yeah. So I think that brings us to the part of the episode where we choose which house won the episode. Does anyone want to start?
I guess I'll start. I want to go with House Baratheon.
Okay, that's my number 2.
However, he had his moment, but then got shot down big time. So I'm not gonna give it to House Baratheon.
Oh,
I'll give it to House Tarth.
Okay.
Is that her last name? Is
Brienne? Well,
I know she's Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, that's her last name.
Is that okay?
Brienne Tarth.
She hit some milestones.
Yeah, she got it in.
She got it. Yeah.
She lost a V.
She lost.
Popped the cherry.
She was all embarrassed in front of everyone. Like, you're a virgin. She was like.
And I would say, like, she kind of got turned away by Jaime, as in the same way that.
Depends on if you believe it or not, or how you interpret his. I'm full of hate too.
Yeah, but she got some. She got some play.
Baratheon is my number 2 for sure, but my number 1, I'm gonna go really unorthodox here. House Buck, because that Starbucks cup was left on the table of the party scene, and I think it was done on purpose because that's all people are talking about. And if that was their way to sneak, there's a big Starbucks cup. You can see the logo. And it's like right in front of Daenerys when Jon's talking with the boys, and she's looking over. There's the Starbucks cup, and I am like, if they went, I have this conspiracy theory that they went like they can't do product placement to make money because of the time period, but if they went, we'll just play it off as a joke, but give us money because everyone's talking about this Starbucks cup that was in the scene.
I did not notice.
It's very subtle. It's like it's in the background, but you can tell.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's one of those. If you don't know, you're gonna miss it. But if you know, it's noticeable.
Nothing
so I feel like that's why I'm like, it might be product placement because it's in the background enough that you won't pick up on it.
Yeah.
But if you know,
it's subliminal.
But everyone's talking about Starbucks now.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go to Starbucks after this because I'm talking about it.
I was a little drunk from the Cinco de Mayo festivities, so maybe that's what I'm gonna blame for me not picking up.
It's there. I did not notice it. I saw people posting about it.
Maybe it's just coincidental. That was an old logo from old Westeros
obviously
days.
It's the Baratheon mug, right?
Yeah, no, it's like a two-tailed mermaid, right?
Oh, that is.
Very sexualized. I'm not gonna get into the conspiracy of this.
House Merlin.
We can discuss the
Malin. House Malin.
The Starbucks House Malin. The Starbucks logo on Squad Goals podcast, our weekly podcast. But
nice plug. Every Friday.
Every Friday we release.
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube.
Want to catch up on our weeks and want us to do some shenanigans. My house, I was going to go with Baratheon, but then I had to think on it a little bit. I'm going to go Lannister.
That was my number 3.
Because Cersei, they killed a dragon. Now you only got to worry about one. That wall is littered with ballista. Jaime's coming back.
That's cold.
Yeah, that dragon's not getting anywhere near the keep. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no.
How did they build that much? I guess all they did was just prepare for the dragon fight.
Yeah.
But
and is it just me, or is King's Landing have a whole new look?
Yeah, that was not regular King's Landing. I don't know if it was a wall we've never seen, but that was not correct.
Yeah.
Well,
even in the scenes where they're upping the production value. However, it's completely different. I like the old look of King's Landing.
My only thing I could say is
they never show the exterior of.
Yeah, we've seen the Red Keep, which is the castle in the middle of this city.
Yeah.
That might be the city wall, which I don't think we've really seen.
It is, but even early in the episode where she's like looking down on King's Landing, that wasn't really a thing before. Like,
well, there's no sept to give you really an idea of where it's at.
And I know, I mean, it's on the water. I know that, but it looked off too. I was the same way, where I'm like,
even the colors and everything.
Yeah,
it wasn't as like.
Red. More vibrant, like more punchy colors.
But I feel like it might just be because we've only seen the Red Keep. I don't know if we've seen the city
outside
walls.
of them just walking to the sept and through.
We've seen a fair amount.
Have we? Yeah, I guess we have. A lot of people have come and gone.
I will mention Daenerys' original plan was surround the keep and let the people throw Cersei out because you're going to starve them. And every time they try to bring food in the bay, we'll just dragon fire the ships. Mm-hmm. Now those ships have the ballista on them.
And she's red hot with rage.
And now she's gonna basically they're gonna, instead of hating Cersei, they're gonna hate Dany with her current plan.
Well, Dany wants some revenge.
Yeah. I think Cersei's gonna win it all.
Your predictions for next week? Anybody? Or
I
want to go out on a limb and
I'm keeping my saying. Sansa and Tyrion on the throne.
Sansa, Tyrion, okay.
I think
this is like long term.
I think we're gonna get Daenerys on the throne, but people are gonna hate her, and I think
Varys plays his trump card.
I think Varys will play his trump card in the last episode. They're gonna start a coup, and I think Daenerys is gonna go full Mad Queen and kill them all. Okay. I think Daenerys will kill Jon. I think Daenerys will kill anyone that's supporting Jon. I think if you look at that prophecy of Azor Ahai, it's like you're gonna sacrifice the thing you love the most to kind of win and vanquish your foes. And I think the thing she loves the most right now might be Jon.
I was thinking it was the opposite.
You think Jon's gonna do it?
Jon, might have to do it.
I think they're gonna discover something at Dragonstone because they showed them kind of like finding something almost like a discovery, and then the face of everybody in King's Landing shocked. Could it be another dragon or
maybe
something? They're gonna find something. Why don't they make dragon armor? I just thought about how did the Targaryens conquer the world if like a wooden ballista bolt can kill a dragon?
Yeah, I'm sure they've put armor on it.
I don't know. I know in the books that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, they've shot those things at them, and they, like...
Do nothing.
They kind of just bounce off.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can only kill it if you hit in the eye in the book.
Okay.
So it's like 1,000,000 to 1 shot. It's like a Smaug
Like
situation.
a smog.
Smog went down so easily. I'm pissed. I don't want to be
That's a story for another time.
We can start our Lord of the Rings podcast.
Squad goes to Middle Earth.
When Amazon.
Oh, when the Amazon show comes out.
So keep an eye on that. But I think that about does it. Anything else you guys would like to add, or? I think that wraps up.
I think we're out.
Except Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks.
Drink your Starbucks.
So join us next Monday when we discuss episode 5.